Yo, what's going on, everybody? I am back with another Keeping It Real podcast, and we are on episode number 35 right now. And it's a good day. It's actually Easter. It's Easter, and Jesus is resurrecting as we speak from the dead. Truth be told, I was trying to get my hands on a Jesus fit. I was trying to get my hands on a Jesus fit, and if I could dress up as Jesus, that would have been the ultimate goal today. That would have been the ultimate goal today, is to dress up as Jesus, and that's just the vibes right now. What's going on, everybody? Another podcast, another solo podcast. I have been very busy. If you have not seen any of my personal vlogs, you guys can check out my personal videos, and link will be in the description to my personal YouTube channel. And I got a lot of stuff going on in that. I've been traveling. Like I said, I will be making podcasts on the road. So obviously we will not be in the studio that we are in right now. But I'm going to be taking the podcast on the road while I travel. So if you guys want to see any of my travel vlogs, like I said, go to my YouTube, subscribe to that. If you have not subscribed already, subscribe right now to this podcast. If you want to listen, if you are listening, what's up? I'm recording, looking at myself in the camera, so I'm always visualizing someone watching this on YouTube. But if you're listening on Apple, Spotify, it's all available there. What's going on, everybody? I got guests on the way. I got some music creators on the way. I'm going to have some Bitcoin on the way because we're Lukey Bitcoins in the building right now. We're balls deep in Bitcoin right now. Nah, I'm just kidding. We're not actually balls deep in Bitcoin right now, but I do talk as if I'm balls deep in Bitcoin right now. And it's just what it is. I like to let it rock. I want to see if people are about the Bitcoin life, and I judge them on their character upon their answer. And that's basically how I'm going upon life right now. I ask people, yo, you got Bitcoin? It's like, oh, dude, it's a bubble, bro. And then right then and there, I unfollow them, unfriend them on Facebook. And that's basically how I'm maneuvering. And Lukey Bitcoins, comment in the section how much Bitcoin, how much Ethereum you got. And nah, just kidding. But also follow the podcast on Instagram. The clips coming. TikTok, we're on TikTok. The problem with TikTok though is it's just corrupting the youth's mind. You just go on TikTok, and honestly, this is another conversation. I'm looking a little pale. Gonna have to edit the videos. The light's shining a little bright right now. I gotta figure out some possibly some better lighting, because I'm literally look like a white ghost. I look like a white freaking ghost right now, and it's kind of ugly, to be honest with you. Freaking white people and shit. We're getting canceled this year. 2020 was bad for white people. 2021, dude, we're getting fully canceled, fully done. It's off with white people. But that being said, I was about to talk about something. Bitcoin, we'll see. It's got to hit 100,000, and that'll be lit. I don't know. Maybe it'll crash, and I think low key. I don't know if it's going to be the next world currency. The blockchain technology is quite fascinating, and but yeah, dude, it could go. It sounds like everybody's predicting it to go up, and everyone that said it's not going up is kind of sick that it's been going up. So what are you gonna do, yo? Ride on the rocket ship, hop on the broomstick, and let's just ride away. I'm reading the Harry Potter's broomstick. Shout out Harry Potter. Shout out Hermione. Shout out Ron. I don't want to curse. I got to work on the cursing on the podcast. Ron freaking Weasley, baby. You already know what's going on. Reading all of those. So that's pretty dope. Right now, also reading Andrew Yang's book. Andrew Yang ran for president, and he's running for mayor of New York City. So interesting guy right there. So reading his book, seeing what that guy is about. And I know Asian community is getting attacked by people right now. We got to stop the hate on the Asians. I'm trying to think of a joke off the top of my head, but I truly can't because I don't want to say anything racist. But Asian community, we're coming for you guys in a good way. Even though Corona has been destroying the economy for the last year and a half, but we're going to let that. Dude, Corona really has been here for about 13 months now. It's been about 13, almost 14 months, which is just absolutely mind-boggling. But, dude, what are you going to... New Jersey still masked up. I don't know when they're going to take the mask thing down. We'll just skip over the... You know what? Screw Corona, dude. Because you know what? You start saying Corona too much, And then they start giving like YouTube will give you like an ad like, oh, you want information about Corona? It's like, no, we don't. We don't want your information about Corona. It's like, all right. All right. Who's getting canceled? I got to think. David Dobrik's getting canceled. David Dobrik is getting canceled. You know what? I'm going to clip this up and post this. I was trying to think of someone to talk about, but David Dobrik is now getting canceled. Dude, so many people were reposting him, and dude, it's just so funny. It's just so funny. But David Dobrik is now getting canceled because I don't even really know why. I never really watched David Dobrik. I never watched those kind of YouTube, like those guys that just moves to Hollywood and just make like hella vlogs, and it's like all crazy camera work, and it's like all craziness. I never really, like, even Logan Paul, like I watched Logan Paul's podcast, but like when I was younger, I never watched those kind of vloggers. I don't know. It's just, I never really kind of watched that stuff, but he was a very poppin' vlogger for very, very, very long. And I guess there was a multiple allegations. I think it was 2 serious ones, but I guess it sounds like he was chilling around some creepy kid. If you want my opinion, it sounds like he was chilling around some creepy kid, and the creepy kid was always like kind of like doing weird stuff with girls, and I guess they let that rock. And then one time, I guess there was like this interaction with all of them, and they were filming these girls that were technically underage, and they were drunk. And then next thing you know, like I said, I don't really know what's going on. And then someone possibly hooked up with the underage girl, and it could have been that creepy kid. And it sounds like they were all kind of like, they all kind of knew this was going on, and they all knew the girl was underage. So that's kind of where the problem stands. Who knows how true any of this story is? Who knows if I'm even right explaining this story? I don't even know, honestly. But yeah, it's just interesting. He's getting canceled, even though he's like one of those kind of like YouTube like young pop culture characters that's supposed to be like this wholesome guy, you know what I'm saying? And now he's getting canceled for like being, and that just goes to show you that nowadays anyone can get canceled until it comes to the point where everyone gets canceled. And I've been talking about this on my podcast. Like it's going to get to a point where everybody just gets canceled, and then we realize like, oh shit, we're all shitty human beings. It's like, yeah, now you finally realize that. It's like people just can't understand that we're all hypocrites. We're all not that good of people. Even the people that you think like, well, who's that guy? Who's the other guy? Who's the guy that cheated on his wife? Now. Oh, what's his name? Chris Lentz? Oh no, I'm not. That's not his name. The guy that was chilling with Justin Bieber. The guy that was chilling with, I think it was Chris Lentz or something Lentz. Oh, I'm having a real brain fart. Let's look it up. Let's look it up right now. Let's look it up, because this is what podcasts are about. This is what podcasts are about. Chris Lentz? Hillsong, yeah. Carl, that's what his name. I knew his name wasn't Chris. Carl Lentz. I watched his podcast with Logan Paul too. And he's a preacher. He's like a modern day preacher, not a priest, right? I don't even know what the difference between a priest and a preacher is. I guess like priest is Roman Catholic and preacher is like Christian, and they're allowed to get married and have kids, and you know what I'm saying? Roman Catholic priest is like married to God, which is a little homoerotic, and there's nothing wrong with that, but it is a little homoerotic. And yo, the priests are really like, now that I look back at it, and I was sitting in CCD, like just like complacent, like just chilling there, like every Wednesday, these teachers telling us all these mythical stories, and you can tell the teachers don't even really like, as they're trying to teach us, like they're questioning themselves and stuff. They're like just volunteers and stuff. But the priests were always creepy guys, bro. They were priests specifically. I've met some preachers. In my opinion, priests come off as creeper deepers, and preachers come off as like con men, kind of like a snake oil salesman. You know what I'm saying? Like they come off as like, hey, I got something to show you. I got something to sell you. But that's definitely how a preacher comes off to me. And then the priests they're just so creepy. And the reality and the history behind the Catholic Church and the institutionalization and then the hierarchies of the church, it's just, and the Pope blackmailing the other Pope. It's just it's some gray waters. It's some gray waters people are swimming in. But what are you going to do Dude, I forgot the title of this video. Cause you know what? The priests are getting out of hand, and you know who's gonna put him in line? Old Lucky V. Because you know why? Because it's a hot. Oh, I messed up the name. Because it's a white boy summer. It's a hot white boy summer, and you already know what's going on. I saw it trending. I saw white boy summer trending. I was like, yo, this is actually hilarious. Yo, that is hilarious. I'm sure it's something on Twitter because Lucky V quit Twitter. I did quit Twitter, and I quit Twitter. Yeah, that's a real tongue twist. But yeah, Twitter is bad. You see, all these famous people are quitting Twitter as we speak. Literally, as we speak, people are like, I just can't handle Twitter. It's too fucked up for my head. Been saying that. I've been saying that. It's not regulated. Not saying that it should be because, well, it is regulated to certain, it's politically, it's regulated. But like when people can just like tell you like, yo, I'm going to fucking kill you and shove a friggin' thing up your throat and I hope you die. Like, as much as freedom of speech is like freedom of speech, and I don't think anybody should be silenced. I stand strong with that. There is a line, like, dude, like these people are, like, you know what I'm saying? Let's say like some girl wins the Olympics and I don't know, she gets in trouble, or maybe she won because some girl fell at the other side, and then the girl that fell, like her whole country, thousands of people are giving this girl death threats, you know, and then you have citizens from that country now giving this person death threats. That's a lot of flack. And of course, you know, as a famous, you can just turn off your phone and then, you know, it's not there anymore. It's not reality. It's just social media. But at the same time, it does take a toll on people. And that's what you see, especially in our generation. Like I said, been screaming this. Everyone should read The Coddling of the American Mind. It's such a fascinating book. And it breaks down kind of why America specifically like the Gen Z, I generation, which means internet generation, the generation basically that grew up through the whole, like grew up with a phone in their hands. And that's usually the kids from 1995 to, you know, onward to millennial kids, which is like me, born in 2000. And we've just grown up with social media. We've met, dude, a lot of us, like, people don't want to admit this, but you probably meet your first girlfriend on Instagram or some fucking weird shit. On Facebook, dude. You're bagging girls on Tinder. You're talking to people like that. At the end of the day, bro, like, I know, like, society, like, you have to adapt and shit, and that's just the future that's coming. But it's causing anxiety, it's causing depression, it's causing humans to not have the skills and the capability to talk to another human being, whether that's like someone that you're trying to bag or someone that you're just talking, even just like as a friend, or even like a worker, like you're trying to figure out where stuff is. Like, you ever talk to someone and they're just like, they don't even know how to talk to you, and like, yeah, what is good with this person, bro? Like, what's wrong with you? And dude, there's a lot of things wrong with a lot of people. And I guess the argument is that it's always been like that. Like, people have always been, you know, fucked up in the aspect of like there's so many things wrong with people, and it's been going on for so long. Like, just because we can fix a broken bone nowadays doesn't mean that we've solved all like the world's problems that have been occurring on for thousands and thousands of years, whatever that may be. But dude, I don't even know where the fuck I'm going with this. I'm just spitting some facts right now. But like I said, I don't even really know where I'm going. But it's a white boy summer, and I remember talking about CCD. Dude, this one time I was about to graduate CCD. So if anyone knows how CCD works, like, you go once a week. I don't know about if anything is different, but I went once a week. I went on Wednesday night. Dude, I remember Wednesday night. It was so terrible, bro. It was so ass. My mom wanted me to go. We were not church-going families. So that's a big reason why, I question the idea of God and all that stuff, and the Bible and all that good, interesting stuff, because my parents aren't praying and shit like that. They don't pray. They don't go to church. They question it as well, but they don't practice. They're not practicing Christians or Catholics, right? But I went to CCD. My mom wanted me to go. My dad didn't really even care, but my mom would take me once a week. Wednesday, it was about an hour and a half. And it was like a school. Like, you would go to the Catholic school where kids would go to Catholic school, like, while you're at public school, regular days. And then you'd go there at nighttime at like 6, 7 p.m. And you'd go there and chill. And then you'd go to your classroom, and there would be like a whole there would be all these different people in your like township and stuff, like people that like, oh, yo, I know you from soccer or something. And then like a bunch of other kids that you didn't even know. And yeah, they would just talk about all this. They would teach you all this stuff. And I remember when you had to graduate, you had to take this test. And I remember at the time, I don't know how old we were. I don't think we were in high school at all. I think we were in like 6th grade. When we graduated, I think we were in 6th grade. When do you get your confirmation? When you're 14 or when you're 12? You get your communion when you're 8. So then you get your confirmation, I think, when you're like 12. I don't think I was doing it in middle school. I don't think I was going to CCD in middle school. I could be wrong, but I think it was in 6th grade we were graduating. Maybe 7th grade. No, because I think so. There's this girl that I went to middle school with. I remember I thought she was cute, but the first time she talked to me, I remember this. Like the first time she's coming up to talk to me, at the end of like we already are about to graduate, we have to take this final test, and I remember like I thought at the time like. In reality, bro, if you pay, you're just getting through. You know what I'm saying? You're paying for CCD, you're just getting through. I don't know if I told this story before, but if you pay for CCD, you're getting through. Like, you don't need, you know what I'm saying? You don't need, you already paid. Like, they just say, oh, we're giving you a final test. Like, bro, I paid you this amount of money. I don't know how much CCD was either. But, so, like, I remember thinking, like, dude, if I fail this, like, do I not get confirmed by God? You know what I'm saying? Like, is God gonna... Yo, I was like low-key questioning, like, what happens if I fail this shit? Like, I don't even know these questions. Like, I don't go to church and shit. Like, I've never read the Bible. And this girl, like, I guess we were all talking and we were all around. And the cute girl comes out to me. I'm like, oh, shit, this, like... yo, I don't want to call her a B word. But I was like... yo, I always go to that word. I'm like, oh, my God, yo, she's coming up to me. And I was like, I don't know what she's about to say. And I think the first word she says to me, it's like, yeah, I think I saw your test. I think you failed. That's what she said to me. Yeah. She was like, yeah, like, I think you failed. And I'm just like, yo, like, what the fuck? Like, yo, like, I don't know. I didn't know what to say. I was about to, I was a little mad. I was like, yo, first off, you don't know what the hell you're talking about. I probably passed that shit. Meanwhile, I got my confirmation and now I can get married in a church. God, it's Easter. What's going on? Let's have a moment of silence for that girl. Let's pray right now for that girl. She may have been lying. I want to give her the benefit of the doubt, God, and say that she may have been lying to try to flirt with me because she thought, you know, like, oh, maybe if he thinks you stupid, maybe, I don't know. Maybe she was just trying to manipulate me. But at the end of the day, I passed. I'm going. I don't even think about marriage. But if I wanted to, I could get married in the church. And I want to say thank you for that. Thank you. What a prayer right there. What a prayer. On the Keepin' It Real podcast. It's almost like Kanye West. It's almost like, yo, did you watch the Joe Rogan podcast with Kanye West where Kanye, like, I think Joe Rogan asks Kanye about like world peace and like, yo, what's gonna happen if we get attacked by in like a world war or something? And Kanye literally sits back. I just prayed a little bit. I just prayed thinking about the answer, and truthfully, he brags about praying. It's so funny, yo. He starts bragging about praying. He's like, yeah, I just prayed for us right there, Joe. Prayed for that answer right there. And Joe's like looking at him like he has 12 heads. Oh my God. What a podcast. What a podcaster freaking Kanye is. Look at this. We got some collagen. This thing is actually making me feel pretty doozy. Got some collagen water. Pick that up. Apparently, collagen is good for your muscles, your joints, recovery, inflammation in your body. So, yeah, it seems like collagen is the way. So I don't really know where collagen comes from. I don't know if it comes from like fruits or if it's like a collagen. Is it like a collard green? Is it a collagen? Is a type of plant? I'm not quite sure. I have to do some research. But I bought it because it looked like it was healthy. And I read about collagen a little bit. And now I just explained it and I don't know what I'm talking about, basically, is what I'm saying. So, yeah, dude, I can't believe. So, yeah, David Dobrik is getting canceled because, like I said, chilling with some creeper. Don't really know what's going on with that guy. What are you going to do? Jake Paul fighting Ben Askren. what do I think about Jake Paul fighting Ben Askren? I think it's funny, kind of. I think it is funny. I think Jake Paul's taking it mad serious, and it's almost getting to the point where like Jake Paul's like actually kind of getting mad and like gonna try to like fuck him up. Like obviously, I think Jake Paul was gonna try to like beat his ass no matter what. They're boxing, but like I truly think Jake Paul is like mad, like taking it personal and like gonna try to make it personal for no reason. I think Jake Paul has mental issues. Truthfully, I know a lot of people like, oh, Jake Paul's like a psychopath or a sociopath. Like I met him 12 years ago, or I met him 4 years ago when he was on the come up, and I used to work for him. You hear a lot of those stories, but I truly think he has some mental issues. Like Logan Paul seems like he recorded those kids in the woods, those suicide forest, and then he got his act. He got canceled a little bit. He got his act together. I don't know if he did some DMT, some ayahuasca. Had to figure out life a little bit, but yeah. Now Logan Paul is killing it in the game, best podcast in the world, next to the Joe Rogan actually, second best podcast in the world, next to the Keepin' It Fucking Real podcast, baby. How you doing? Like I said, link in the description if you guys want to check out my vlog, my website. The website, we're going to try to get some merch on there as soon as possible. I'm going to have a crypto guy on here as soon as possible. We got some artists on here. So Lukey Bitcoins is in the building right now. Do I think Bitcoin's going up? I think Bitcoin's going up. I think Bitcoin's only going up. I think Bitcoin's going up and it's going to take over the world. And if you don't own Bitcoin, what are you owning? You own nothing. If you don't own Bitcoin, you own nothing. That's what I'm saying. Don't take financial advice from me. This is not financial advice. This is pure entertainment, baby. But yeah, I'm just chilling today. It's actually Easter. It's Easter Sunday. And what do you think? What do you think? I don't know too much history about the actual history about Jesus, but do you think Jesus was like pinned to the cross and he just didn't die, and like he had like a boost of energy on Sunday because it was like the God, like, you know, the holy day, and he was like, I'm not dead, and he's on the thing, he's like, oh, and they're like, yo, he fucking came back to life, oh my God, when in reality, like, he never died, he was just getting tortured the whole time with just freaking holes in his freaking hands and shit. Possibly. Very well, possibly. Who knows, bro? Who knows what's really going on? That's why I try to tell a lot of people, like, who knows? And you don't know what you know. You don't know what you know, okay? Gravity is not real. Gravity is a theory, okay? Gravity is not a law. It's like, Luke, no, it's not. The earth is flat. No, like, I get behind so many conspiracies, but the flat earth one is just something that it's difficult to get behind. There's so much evidence that I guess the only argument, I'll say this. The only thought-provoking argument that the flat earthers have is that no one really does want to explore Antarctica and like the North and South Pole. And there is a United Nations treaty, which is kind of weird. They always go back to that, but that could mean a million different things. Personally, in my opinion, I think Antarctica, if you dig up Antarctica, I think the lost city of Atlantis is under Antarctica. There's a map. There's the Piri Rice map or the Piri Royce map. I'm not quite sure how to pronounce it. Made in 1519 or 1515 in Constantinople, Turkey. And basically that map depicted Antarctica to have like mountain ranges and rivers and streams and all this different stuff. And the map drawer drew it with no ice on it. And Antarctica didn't even get found until like hundreds of years afterwards. And when it was found, it was covered with hundreds of feet of miles filled with ice. So how did these ancient maps get depicted in a way that they could explain the geography that's underneath the ice perfectly, which is actually quite astonishing. And especially the same way that our ancient ancestors could track the stars and shit. Like, so I'm reading this book, The Endurance, right? And it's about this guy, Ernest Shackleton. It was back in the late 1800s, early 1900s, when the world was really trying to discover Antarctica and figure out like what the hell's over there and stuff like that. And there were a lot of ships that were trying to cross certain parts of Antarctica, like when it was broken and they could actually travel through. So this guy, Ernest Shackleton, tried to do that. And he had he's had a physicist. He had all these scientists on board to, track and write down and journal what happened, and they would come back and the country would be, it's almost like it's an expedition. It's a national expedition, nationally funded and stuff like that. It could be private funded, but still, usually you get the Queen's permission and all this stuff. And basically, his ship got frozen in Antarctica, and they had to basically survive on the ship. I didn't finish the book, but I do know the story. And they had to survive on the ice, and then Shackleton and a few other men, they left the rest of the crew there to survive. They're living like inside a whale, like seal blubbers, and eating like seal fat and stuff like that to stay warm and shit like that. It's actually mind blowing. But the ship is just frozen solid in like a chunk of ice. Like it's just like it tried to break through, and eventually like they were waiting for like this really strong wind gust to break through like the ice, and it just never came, and they straight just froze in the ice, which is pretty crazy that like that's like we're waiting for a little thing of wind, and if not, we're fucking screwed. And they were fucking screwed. And yeah, it's pretty astonishing. Essentially, it sounds like Shackleton left the campground, the ship, the frozen ship where they had a little tent and shit. And I'm sorry for cursing. I know. Like I said, I worked on it in the beginning, but when I start explaining crazy stories, bro, I just let it rip. And then he had to travel like hundreds of miles on like a little buoy, like a little boat, like a paddle boat, and then travel over like this mountain range, because on the paddle boat he landed on the wrong side of the island. Had to go another couple hundred miles over top of a mountain, and I believe they were tracking they were following the stars. So they had someone that understood astrology enough, or astronomy. Is it astrology is the stars and astronomy is the space? I think, or maybe it's the other way around. I'm not quite sure. It's kind of complicated, but I think it might be the other way. Astronomy might be the stars, and astrology might be the solar system. I think. Could be wrong. I don't know. Who knows? Are those real things? People like Neil deGrasse Tyson say like those aren't even that accurate of like degrees and stuff like that. It's like, whoa, who's this guy to say that? So yeah, it's pretty crazy. And then basically after he followed the stars and he got back to he got to this whaling community, and then he got the whaling community to sail. I guess that whaler could. They waited for I don't know how long they waited, or if they waited at all until better weather came, and they went and saved the whole entire crew, and not a single person died, which is pretty astonishing. They traveled from England all the way to Antarctica, got frozen. I think it's over a year of a journey. I think it takes all of them. And that's just what it is. That's just when you realize, like, damn, bro, like when you think life is hard, it's like, damn, life's really not that hard. But back to the Coddling of the American Mind, fascinating book. Everyone should read it. It talks about how our society is soft and how, our generation lacks the communication skills to be able to, really thrive in the world, to be honest with you. Because, humans are very social beings. And obviously, like I said, you could just make the argument that it's inevitable. Like, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Change the world? No, you got to just go with it. Like, yeah, everything is going to be online. Dude, this phone is like, you can truly low-key, it's difficult. You could probably get a college degree on your fucking cell phone. Isn't that crazy, though? Like I said, it'll be very difficult, but you could low-key do it. And that just goes, that's really mind-boggling. You could get a college degree. You could literally take videos and pictures and do film work and stuff on your iPhone and stuff, write essays and do whatever you need, post things to the internet, post things to social media, send things out on emails. It's literally everything. Everything is on your phone. So, you can't deny that. You can't. I was talking to the Verizon guy when I was getting a new phone, and he was like, yeah, he was like talking about how he sometimes he's in a weird position having to like tell older people, old people that like, yo, like you low key, you can't have a flip phone anymore. Like you're going to have to buy an iPhone. Like just like, even though it's weird how like, these big corporations and companies are forcing the advanced technology on us, like what's wrong with just having a flip phone? If you just call people, like if you're an old person, you literally just call people, you don't use Facebook, anything, like God bless them. But yeah. So technology, what are you going to do with that? And also, but then the Coddling American Mind talks about how like our generation, our mental health is terrible, dude. Like they say the average person, the average like teenager has the same mental health disabilities as like a 50-year-old person in the 50s that was in like an insane asylum. And I don't know where they get some of these statistics. You can read a lot of books how to like learn to break down statistics, and like it's really all statistics are low-key BS, but not all of them. Like they have their value, they have their point, they have their purpose, I guess you could say. But at the same time, like you could really, like, what are those studies? Are those studies really good studies? Are those quality studies? Are you just using, botched up studies and most studies are botched up if you want to botch them up. Same thing with nutrition. Always talk about this, baby. But keto seems like the way. It's the way, yo. Keto. If I was an Italian, I would be called the Keto Guido, and it's just what it is. But I'm not Italian. I'm the Irish. I'm the Irish British. Let me think. Shish bish. I'm the Irish British fish eating piece of shit. That's what I am. I'm Irish British fish eating piece of shit, and that's just what it is. And you know what? I'll accept that. And that's just who we are. I watched the documentary Seaspiracy. And it is a documentary basically about massive commercial fishing, worldwide commercial fishing, farm fishing. I've talked about farm fishing on the podcast. So boom, Lukey V making a change. You already know. But yeah, absolutely fire. Netflix documentary just came, Netflix original documentary. Definitely check that out. Really interesting. There were a few statistics that I did not believe. You ever watch like a documentary and you pause it and you're like, yo, like I feel you, bro. Like in Game Changers when they start making these crazy claims about vegans and shit. It's like, you know what? Like I respect what you're doing. You make a documentary. I know you got your thing, but like I don't believe that for worth a shit. So there were a few things, like few statistics. But overall, the documentary was absolutely fire, really thought-provoking. And honestly, not only did it make you think the world's going to end and you're going to blow up in fire and we're all going to die, which we all are all going to die, but it really makes you, dude, it really is sad. It really is sad. You see like the animals like getting literally killed and the mass fishing. You think like the average Joe like me thinks the ocean's so effing big. I think it's so big. It's so big that I can't even comprehend. And it kind of is that big. But at the same time, like there's thousands of boats. I don't know about millions, but thousands of boats out there every day catching a lot of fish, killing a lot of sharks, whales, like really high quality, large fish. So the idea is like we eat like large fish like tunas and sharks and whales and dolphins and all this type of stuff. And those are some of the biggest apex predators in the ocean. Those keep like the small fish in line, and then it keeps the whole ecosystem in line. And there's a lot of arguments that like the reason the coral reefs are all bleaching out and then dying is because we're overfishing, and the coral reefs live off the dead fish, the decay of fish comes to life, and it digests the fish, the bones and the carcasses and stuff like that. It's all one ecosystem. So when you start taking out massive amounts of fish, which they are taking out, when you really look at like when you buy a fish fillet, like it's like, and this is the argument. If you fish fillet not only is unhealthy, massively processed fish, shitty for you. Let's just be real. We're saying McDonald's. But also, you're taking part in this massive amount of ocean destruction. That's really what you're taking part of. And the same thing when you're eating a hamburger, cheeseburger, anything like that. And I'm not the type to say, like, veganism's the way. Because, I mean, you still have, you have illegal immigrants that are literally slaving away, like, getting your vegetables and cleaning them and stuff like that. So there's like, it's all multi-faced argument. And that's what you learn in the fishing industry as well. You have like, they went to Taiwan, or Thailand or Taiwan. I think it was Thailand, actually. It could be Taiwan. But there was like slavery ships. They would take these people and enslave them, go them out into the ocean. And if you don't work, you don't want to work, they throw you overboard. they throw you overboard. And when the captain comes back, they just like tell the government, oh, he got sick and he fell overboard or something like that. It's just pretty wild. And then there are a few people that are like supposed to be supervisors that like look over everybody and like, yo, you're not supposed to be doing that. Like and those guys end up getting murdered. A lot of those guys end up getting murdered, which is pretty insane. But yeah, it sounds like we're killing a lot of dolphins. It also, like, the big nets, we're destroying the ocean bottom because we're running. Imagine this. You got a ship. This is the ocean, right? This is the ocean. You have the ship right here. It's dragging this net, and the bottom of the ocean's right here. This net all the way down. So not only is it cleaning up the whole entire fish, like catching all the fish, but it's ripping out all the vegetation, all the coral reefs, everything on the ground. It's just decimating it. It's literally like a deforestation in like the Amazon rainforest or in a forest or something like that. It's really disturbing and astonishing. But and then you also learn that not only are plastics killing whales and fish and stuff like that, but the netting. So when you use this net, you use it, and eventually after like maybe a year or so using a net, it gets fucked up, or maybe you lose some line. You just cut the net and let it go. The net, it gets caught up in all this fish. The fish get caught up in the net constantly. And if it's just sitting at the bottom of the thing, the fish try eating it, whales try eating it. And that's what was killing apparently a lot of whales. They turned up and they have like all this thick net and plastic in their stomachs. And it's really sad. It's really sad knowing that like I'm like this microphone had plastic in it. Like this had plastic in it. Like the cameras have plastic. You know what I'm saying? Like I go through water bottles. Like this is plastic. I'm going to put this in my recycling bin, but I don't know where it's going to go. You know? So it's just kind of disheartening. See that. And like, you're like, what not only what can I do, but like, what can we do as a society? Like, it's kind of like, whoa, like, holy shit. But, I guess like you got to fight a lot of people were saying you have to fight the big commercial fishing. That's what you have to do because those big corporations are making billions of dollars and paying off the doctors and paying off the people saying that are paying off the governments and stuff like that. So it's really interesting. It's all multi-leveled. It's all multi-faced. Like I said, it's never a one-side story. What are you gonna do, man? It was really sad watching that. But I'm trying to see what else. You got March Madness. March Madness is kind of whack. I'm not that big of a fan of, especially certain teams aren't even in it. You know, COVID's messing everything up. There's no fans part of the March Madness, so it's cool. I don't know. I was watching it was UCLA Gonzaga last night. I don't know if that was the final. I literally don't even know. Gonzaga won in the buzzer beater. I don't know if that was the final or the semifinal. Could have been the final. Could have been the freaking final. I don't know. I genuinely don't know. But yeah, if you guys want to check out my vlogs, I'm actually going to be on the road. I'm actually kind of excited to talk about that. I was just in Cape May traveling. I'm going to go to I'm probably going to go to North Carolina, South Carolina very, very soon. I'm going to go to Tennessee in about a week. Going to go to Nashville while I'm down there. Within the next month, going to go to Florida. Make all different vlogs. If you ever heard of Spartan... Excuse me. Have you ever heard of Spartan races? They're kind of like obstacle course races. It's pretty dope. I'm going to try to have some I low-key want to have my boy Hunter McIntyre on the podcast. So Hunter, I'm going to tag this on my podcast on Instagram. And bro, come on the podcast. We can link up on a Zoom, 45 minutes, half hour, if that's all you got, an hour, whatever you want to do. And yeah, come chop it up with your boy on the Keepin' It Real podcast. Hunter McIntyre. Love you. The sheriff, baby. Hunt the sheriff. Going to go kill him. But I'm trying to think. But I'm trying to think like, yo, I could clip that and post that on Instagram. All right, let me continue the conversation. Yeah, the podcast it's not the easiest thing to run a podcast. But that's why I haven't been posting every single week. I'm going to get back on posting constantly. But I have been posting a lot on the YouTube, getting a lot of stuff in place. I technically got a new camera right now, so we're actually chilling with that. Hope you guys enjoy the new cam. A little bit easier on the podcast audio. Let that run for 30 minutes. Don't even got to press no buttons. We are chilling. But yeah, I'm going to get some guests on. Very excited for that. And yeah, dude, the warm weather is coming. So the idea is I'm going to be training different kind of training. So want to do I want to do an ultra. I want to do my ultra. I want to build up and do a 50 miler. So I'm going to do a half marathon, a marathon, and then do a 50 miler. Eventually I'm going to do a 100 miler, but I'm definitely going to be able to do a 50 miler. And big thing right now that I'm actually excited to talk about now that I just transitioned into this fitness talk is I'm switching sneakers, and I'm excited. I'm very excited to do this. Very excited to do this. So right now, as you can see, you see these Nikes? You see this thick cushion right here? So the idea for a very long time is when you run, when you train, specifically running and, stuff like that and jumping and stuff like that, is you want a lot of cushion to protect your feet, protect your joints, protect all your body, protect your knees, right? You want the cushion to protect you, right? It's come to a point where, like, the more research you do, it seems like the minimalist sneakers or the barefoot sneakers are the way to go. The zero drop sneakers. So this has almost like an inch of drop. Like, it probably has like an inch and a half, honestly. But sole of a sneaker. The zero drop sneaker, I know it's only like, they say it's only like it's only a few millimeters, but it's not. It's really big. But the idea is that's not natural for your foot. Your foot is supposed to feel and touch on the ground. That's why, dude, some people run ultra marathons barefoot, literally barefoot. That's insane. That is insane. You know what I'm saying? Like, running through the woods on rocks and trails barefoot, my dude. That's just some next level shit. It really is. There's no other way to get around it. I don't even know. Like, that's some next level stuff. You're running for 50 miles barefoot, dog, on the ground. You know what I'm saying? Not on the street, bro, on the ground. The street would be hard as well, but so the idea is that you want to wearing these minimalist sneakers, we'll call them that, minimalist shoes or sneakers, you actually build up better sensory deprivation. I don't want to say better sensory deprivation. I feel like that's for eyesight, but a better sensory, like better sense of what's going on your feet. Like, you feel a lot more things, what's going on where you are and stuff. And arguably, there's some arguments that your body the more feeling that your feet have, your body can adjust. So let's say like your hips tight on your left side, your feet will feel that and put more weight on your right side until you level out and stuff like that. I've been looking a lot into it. It's really interesting how well your body is made. That's really what it is, how well your body is made. People like Wim Hof prove these kind of arguments. Like, we're not really supposed to get sick the way modern day people get sick, get a flu and get allergies and shit. Like, that's not supposed to happen. This modernization of life is what's arguably really causing a lot of detriment to what would I call it? It's calling a detriment to, like, well-being and life in an aspect. People are having diabetes people are dying. One of the biggest killers in America is heart disease, and that stems from, smoking's probably a big one, but it stems from the food we eat. For thousands of years, bro, the food we eat would be medicines and protect us from life, protect us from illnesses. Now the food we eat causes illnesses. The causes all the things that's wrong with us, inflammation in our body, stress, caffeine. Caffeine's a big secret that nobody really wants to talk about, the reality of caffeine. Yeah, a nice cup of coffee is not too bad. Like a black cup of coffee, it's not the worst thing for you. Being addicted to coffee and having 3-4 cups a day because you got to get through the day and your blood pressure is TTR through the roof when you do that stuff. And if you're not aware of that, then you're just what you're really doing is causing massive amounts of stress to your body. And you could start looking into intermittent fasting and trying to release some of that stress from your body. And that's big too. Intermittent fasting is something that I don't want to say I've been doing. I've been practicing, looking into for the past year and a half. I've done it. And I've started, obviously, with the 12 hours, and then you do the 14 hours. And then you can get to 16 hours, and then you can go to change it from 16 hours for a few days, and then you take like a day off of eating just because, stuff like that. Or let's say you had like usually like this is a big, like, this is when I usually fast. So let's say like if I know I'm going to have like a rest day or an easy gym day the next day, and I realized I've eaten a bit unhealthy that day, a bit more unhealthy, like the calories that I've had are a little bit less nutritious than I truly like, then then that next day I would fast. So that morning I would stop eating around like what, 10, 11, 12, not a big deal. And then I would fast for the next until probably dinner time, until probably like I have like a lunch or like a late lunch or a dinner time. And at that point, usually I'd be at about 14 to 16 hours. And that's like a pretty simple fast. And that's like, it's pretty easy. I'm a bit of a skinny guy and I do burn a lot of calories way I run and exercise and bike and cycle. And I'm not the biggest eater. And I also am I'm very aware that, you know, high calorie foods, usually, especially modern day, I'm saying it's what it is usually not that good for you. So I'd like to stay away from them. So I'm not a big eater. I know what's healthy, what's not healthy. And sometimes, obviously, and some of my friends get a misperception, like when I talk about healthy foods and they think like, oh, bro, you don't ever eat unhealthy. It's like, dude, yeah, if I want like some dark chocolate or something sweet, like, yeah, I can go get Ritas because I'm healthy. Dude, I'll eat Ritas. I'll have a 6-pack afterwards. And like, that's good. Like that's not different arguments. You can make different arguments and say you need body fat to survive. You know, chubby kids, at the end of the day, bro, if the lights go out and the world ends, a chubby kid's lasting longer than me. And that's fucking what it is, bro. But also, they probably feel insecure without their shirt on. So that's the reality. That is the reality. So what are you going to do? But I am switching to minimalist sneakers. I'm hype about that, yo. I'm hype. I'm going to be a weirdo. I'm going to be one of those guys doing some weird shit. Rock climb. No, I low-key want to do rock climbing. That is some badass stuff, but I'm not trying to die, so it's kind of scary. I'm scared of that. I know. Use a harness, bro. But still, bro, I know. I'm scared to rock climb. But yeah, I'm going to be doing a lot of running, traveling, so stay tuned for the vlog. Stay tuned for the podcast. Going to be in some strange spots. Maybe some outdoor podcasts. We will see. But yeah, that's basically what's going on with me. Dropping my sneakers, going to minimalist sneakers. Oh, also it builds up your calf muscle. So if you have, like me, I don't have big calf. I low-key have, excuse my language, I got some pussy calves. I really do. I got some pussy-ass calves. And you know what? If I'm being honest, sometimes when I'm in the gym wearing low socks, I do get a bit insecure about my calves. I'm being 100% honest. I'm being transparent with my listeners. And I hope you guys appreciate that. But yeah, the idea is that the cushion on your sneaker is restricting the range of motion in your ankle, in your foot, in your Achilles. And that's not natural. And your body's supposed to have that range of motion to grow stronger and faster and to be able to do things the way it's supposed to do and to have more mobility and stability. So that's the idea. So once my sneakers come in, I'm getting Vivo Barefoots. Zero drop sneakers, very excited. I'm dumb hype. And yeah, and the idea is the sneakers that I just showed you, like running sneakers, they only last for like, if you're really running, like 300-400 miles. And then the cushion becomes dead. I would call it, they become dead. And then like some sneakers last a little bit longer than that. But like after like 400 miles, like, dude, your knees start aching. The sneakers are just dead. There's no cushion in them. It's all like, it's just dead cushion. There's no bounce. There's no give to it. So then you're running on the, you know what I'm saying? Like, so you're just clapping the ground. And also, like I said, it restricts your range of motion. So when your body when your body's in that weird place, it can't use the range of motion naturally that it would use to get out of those feelings of stress. So that's why you got to go to a minimalist sneaker. And what are you going to do? Luke Vaughn is putting you on toothpaste. You don't want to use Colgate toothpaste. It's just what it is. Crest Colgate toothpaste. Apparently the fluoride, stop drinking tap water. Fluoride is apparently really bad for you. It stops creativity. It stops the pineal gland production in the brain. That may not be true. Who knows? That's what Kanye West says. But that's a little bit of the argument. But also, you don't want that much fluoride in your body. There's also a lot of irons and metals and stuff in like aluminums, I think, in toothpaste. Also, Old Spice. I gave up the Old Spice. I'm not on the Old Spice wave anymore. I was an Old Spice deodorant guy for quite a while. And when you really look into like regular brand deodorant, it has a lot of like aluminums and metals and stuff like that. And you know what? Like, I'm not gonna go full conspiracy. I don't blame them because that's probably what they put in them years ago when they first created deodorant to try to get something to stop people from sweating and also smell good. So they're like, "Oh, just put all the, it's healthy." Reality, it's not that healthy to put that stuff on your body. And there's like more natural things with like coconut and beeswax and stuff like that. So you can definitely check out different healthy deodorants as well. That's what I got. I just got that. And I'm not saying like it's not life changing, like, oh, it's life changing, but like I feel like my armpits probably sweat like a little bit at a healthier rate. Like it's not, so you know how you get that weird, like, I don't know, you ever get like that almost like anxiety sweat, but it's not like you're not anxious or anything, but like you get this weird sweat just from like the weird deodorant from like sweating and being inside. I don't know. Sometimes I get that, but so far so good with the all natural deodorant, baby. You already know how we coming. Keeping it natural. It says it's vegan free. I don't know how deodorant's a vegan free. We're not eating anything, so it's like, duh, it's vegan, bruh. But yeah, man, we're out here vibing. I'm trying to think of something like important going on. You know, Epstein, what's going on? Ghislaine Maxwell, I think, is in contact with the FBI, so that's interesting as always. Let me talk while I'm on the podcast. I actually have a vlog if you guys want to check it out. Link will be in my description. Go to my channel and check it out. But I talk about the college admission scandal. Yo, that documentary was low-key mind-boggling. I will be honest with you. So basically, spoiler alert. There's this guy, Rick Singer. And he was, dude, not married, no kids going to college and shit. Sounded just like a California wannabe rich guy. And he was like I think it was like a small college basketball coach. Got fired, started this like business where it was like a college prep like business where they would prep kids and help them apply and go to take their SATs and apply to college and get into college. And basically in the beginning, I think he was just lying on young kids, applicants, and saying that they were like the captains of a team or they played a sport that they didn't. And then they would just get accepted into the university, regular admission and stuff like that. So then I think it came to the point where they were doing this side door deal. So the front door is regular admission. You apply, you get good SATs, you get good ACTs. You actually play a sport. You apply, and you're in the ball for admission. And I guess when it comes to these really crazy Ivy League and UCLA and Stanford and Cornell, these crazy universities, it's very, 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 very competitive to get in. And there's a high echelon of community of people going and trying and graduating and sending their kids to these universities. So it's held in high regard. So that being said, there was this backdoor approach where you could donate to the school. You donate thousands of dollars, 10,000, 20,000, millions of dollars to the school. And then you hope that ensures your children to get into the admission. Right after they apply, you donate, they apply, and then the school realizes, hey, you did this, your kid's going here, let's go, I got you. And that's basically that's the idea of that's what Jared Kushner did. He's married to Ivanka Trump, fiance, married, I don't know, but to Ivanka Trump, and he was a regular Joe like me in college or in high school, taking regular classes, right? His dad donated Harvard $2 million, and then he ended up getting accepted to Harvard after being a regular student. So that's the backdoor approach. So this guy, Rick Singer, invented the side door approach, where basically, like, let's be real, none of the universities got in trouble for this, which is astonishing. It's all like the parents got in massive trouble, but the universities got away whisk-free, even though the guy, Rick Singer, knew people at the universities, right? And there were a few teachers that got in trouble, but not the way that it should have been. And he was basically getting these kids like weird sports. So sailing, rowing, water polo, stuff like that. And these kids would take fake photos of them playing these sports, or the parents would do this, and they would they would send it to Rick, and then they would also like donate to the program. So they would donate to the program, or they would donate to the school, and then Rick would talk to the guy. He knew a few people, especially the one guy at Stanford, a guy at Yale, a few other guys, USC. He knew the people at USC, and I don't think anyone at USC got in trouble, which is insane. But he knew the people there, and he would like say like, "Yo, like, I guess they would have a certain amount of spots for admissions. Like, it's not even scholarships. It's just like you're on the team. You can now pay whatever 70 grand a fucking year for tuition at USC or Stanford. It's insane. It's criminal actually. But yeah, it's wild. It's wild. So these kids that don't play any sports, don't do anything, are getting accepted to the water polo team, and then they just don't show up to practice, and nobody really gives a shit. And it's going on for quite a while. And then it starts getting shady. Lori Loughlin, the actress, I believe she's an actress. I don't know what she does. I don't know what these people are in Hollywood are famous for anymore. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, just get a fucking real job, for God's sakes. Pay some taxes. Jesus, paying all this money for your kids to legally get into college. Do something for frickin', half the country or half the state of California is frickin' homeless. Do something about that, Loughlin. No, I'm just kidding. But I am not just kidding. But their daughters, Lori Loughlin's two daughters, were both like YouTube famous. Like, they were like kind of like they had their own little following. So they both are like average kids, I think. And they both got fucking accepted to USC. And USC is really hard to get into. Not only did one get in, both of them got in. So low key, and this is how you know like how like snobby California is. So the guidance counselor realizes like there's no fucking way these kids both got in. Like you can watch their vlogs, like they're not going to USC off smarts. You know what I'm saying? So that's what the guidance counselor low-key realized that. And low-key, that's mad nosy. Like, just let him rock. Like, bro, that's Lori Loughlin, bro. If she's paying $100,000 for her kids to go to fucking USC, why not just let it go? Oh, bro, because there's someone that really is smart and they didn't deserve the seat. Well, they didn't donate $100,000, bruh. Come on, son. If you don't have $300,000 to donate to the school, you paying $100,000, you're looking for a scholarship. Okay, we're gonna take the $100,000, come to the school. College is a business. So I understand the idea. Don't get me wrong. I understand the idea that you're taking the seat away from a child or a student that truly deserves it, that truly wants an education and can really thrive with that education. I totally understand that. It also is a business, and if Lori Loughlin's donating $200,000 a kid, I don't know how much they were donating, honestly. I think it was like 56. It was like some chump change. Some of the kids were chump change. Some of it was a lot. But chump change for them, I guess. But compared to college tuition. But yeah, it's also a business. So it's like, yo, if they're going to donate $300,000 and you're looking for a scholarship and you can barely pay tuition, like, don't get me wrong, tuition's expensive, but they're paying like a lot of money. Like, you know what I'm saying? This is a business. I need the money. We got to keep this. We got to keep the wheels going on this institution, baby girl. You know what I'm saying? We got to pay for the lawyers to take care of the kids that are sexually assaulting girls on campus so we can defend their names in law so we can protect our name as a college. That's what colleges are thinking about. You know what I'm saying? Damn, just gotcha universities. Yeah, college. No one wants to talk about that. Colleges sweeping under the rug freaking sexual assaults and rape charges and assailants because they want to protect their names as an institution and say that they're a safe community and they have safe guidelines. Meanwhile, girls are getting raped on their way home from frat parties, or they don't even get to walk home from frat parties. They're freaking getting raped at frat parties. And that's sad. That's sad, and that's the reality. And not all frat parties are raping girls, and that's true as well. But I don't want to go down the dark hole. But so basically, the guidance counselor realized, like, yo, there's no way. So then he starts like snooping around. Lori Laughlin's dad pulls up to the school and is like, yo, like, stop being a nosy fuck about my kids going to school. Mind your own business. It sounds like the guidance counselor probably got denied from Stanford, USC, and all those California schools. So he was probably just a bitter guy. Like, oh, dude, you know what, bro? Like, I didn't get accepted to USC, bro. Like, both these girls got accepted. These girls are famous and they got accepted to USC, bro. Like, I just can't handle it. That's what I think he was going. I think he was going through a little bit of a life trauma at that moment. But and then that's not even how they got busted. So they got busted because the one guy got some rich guy got his house got. So basically, all these people were paying money for their kids to get illegally into these schools, and then they would still have to pay tuition and stuff like that. But people were paying hundreds of thousands of dollars, literally hundreds of thousands of dollars, just to get their kids accepted into a school. I guess they wanted their kids to go to the same, like, join the same fraternity, live in the same frat house that they lived in. Because these huge universities, dude, some of these universities, they have a private chef in frat houses. Like, what are you talking about, bro? Like, fucking talk about white privilege. Talk about white privilege. It's a white boy summer, but talk about white privilege. We're talking about colleges, dog. Dude, and I know the black frats don't have chefs, son. And I know that. And that's fucked up, bro. Yo, but come on. So what's up with the black frats doing all, like, the weird dancing? I think, I just called it weird. That's technically, now I'm going to get canceled. Because now that I think about it, I think it's like heritage dancing. I think they're doing like African, like, heritage dancing, which is kind of cool, but it is kind of weird too. Like when we're all like, we're waiting in line, getting some lunch, and these guys just break out like, and you're like, all right, son, I just want my turkey and cheese. You know what I'm saying? Like, can I get my orange juice real quick, boss? You know, excuse me. Thank you very much. Just got to get my pizza slice. But, it's like, yeah, bro. It's like I'm at the library. It's like I'm just trying to study right here. We're at the library. It's like it's like, okay, yo, I don't know what's going on right now, bro, but I'm just trying to find a ratio so I can get into a party tonight. You guys want to be my ratio? I just need 3 girls, 1 guy. What's going on? We're not having a threesome. I just need you to get into a party. And then these guys are breaking out and dancing, and I don't know what's going on. That's really what's happened. That's the college life. That's really the college life. If no one's going to set it straight, bro, that's the college life right there. But yeah, basically these people were paying all this money. And then this rich guy, his house got raided. And he just starts snitching. He's like, bro, I know this Yale teacher that takes bribes. So the Yale teacher, and I don't think this interaction, like the guy that got his house raided by, I don't think he even knew like the Rick Singer interaction, like the whole Rick Singer business. So this guy from Yale, the women's soccer coach from Yale, was taking hella bribes, making hella bread, and letting girls come in, getting accepted to Yale just from the soccer program and stuff like that. He ends up going down. He ends up agreeing to talk to the FBI. He rats on Rick Singer, and as Rick Singer is the head of everything going on, and which he low-key was, and he was like the kingpin, and essentially Rick Singer just completely complies with the FBI, wiretaps, calls every single family that he works with. Yeah, I'm getting audited I'm getting my taxes audited. I just want to call you guys and make sure everything's cool and stuff like that. And some of the big guys are like business guys, so they know like, fuck you, Rick. Like, and I guess like so the Netflix documentary was a reenactment based off the voice calls, which is actually pretty cool. So it was like, fuck you, Rick. Like, you're a shady guy. Some of the guys like low key knew it was kind of sketch stuff that was going on. But they at the end of the day, on the phone call, all the families admitted that they knew what they were doing with their money and their kids and the colleges. And once they did that, they all got in trouble. Lori Loughlin did like a month in jail, or like 6 months. And some of the guys did like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months in jail for this. Rick Singer still not a day in jail, didn't go to jail at all, beat the case. Nah, I think he might end up going to jail for a long ass time. Not quite sure. He made a lot of money off this. I feel bad for there's the one guy, the Stanford sailing coach. The problem with the Stanford sailing coach is he didn't take any money for his personal gain. he was like just like this guy, like this. He's just like he met Rick Singer. He's like no one really does sailing. He can get a few people into admissions for sailing, and they're donating hundreds. So the families are donating hundreds of thousands of dollars to the sailing community, and Rick Singer's donating personally a few $100,000 to the sailing team. So the sailing coach is giving it to the sports administrator at Stanford. And the sports administrator, this is what the Stanford coach said, that the administrator's like, oh, yeah, we know Rick Singer. Like, this is cool. Just taking the money, not saying anything. Then it all goes down, and none of the administrators get in trouble. USC, none of them. But the Yale coach got in trouble. I think he was good because he worked with the FBI. All the families of the kids and shit got in trouble. Think about the kids, though. I low-key, like, I think that's, like, the idea of the problem, right? Like, if you really look at it, like, who really cares? Like, they donated a lot. Like, you should have just donated money and made sure your kid get in, like, not go through this weird third-person party, right? That's my opinion, because they still do it. You can still donate to college and then go there. But, essentially what it proves is, like, these parents, like, some of the kids could have gotten into the schools with their regular SAT scores, with their regular ACT scores, and then they had a guy taking SATs for the kids. So the kids would go to this, they had this teacher who was legally allowed to be a proctor, right? He would fly all across the country, right, for Rick Singer. He would sit down with, like, in a regular building, sit down, let the kid take the SATs, right? And he would do it the kids would fill it out on a fake sheet, and he would take it and fill it out correctly and get the exact score that they would want. So if he needed to get like a few answers wrong, they would get the perfect SAT score that they wanted, which is actually mad funny, which I should have done. Yo, that would have been mad funny, bro. I feel like, I don't know. I feel like, because I took my SATs, and it wasn't that, like, it was like, what you, in my opinion, what I took from getting the SATs is all that lady is trying to do is not lose her job, or man. All the teacher's trying to do is not lose their job. They're not trying to, you can't leave the fucking class. You can't cheat off someone. Like, don't have your fucking phone. Like, oh my God, like, I can't lose my job. Like, that's what I understood. So if, like, you go in there with, like, some stunt double or some dude that looks like you, or you switch the IDs, like, dude, I feel like it really could work. I feel like and it does work. People do it. I don't know anybody that's done it. I feel like I do, but I don't. Yeah, I feel like I do, but I don't. That's so funny. I want to say I do know. I feel maybe at college, and that's sad, yo. If someone, I went to Rowan, and you don't need the highest SAT score to go there. But I think someone was talking about, like, they knew kids that would, like, get their SAT scores taken for them or stuff like that. That's insane. But yeah, then the Stanford coach, he ended up not really getting in trouble because he didn't take any money for personal gain. Like, he was just giving it to the administrators, and they were like, cool, yeah, money. And the administrators didn't get in trouble, but this guy got in trouble. He was on house arrest for mad long. But what are you gonna do? Really good documentary. College admission scandal, Operation Varsity Blues. What are you going to do? Guys, my mouth is getting dry. I'm talking too much. Please stay tuned for more podcasts. This is like I said, I've been very busy with the vlogs, but I got the podcast channel. I got the website. I got everything in place. So, when we get a lot of free time, we're going to be banging out the podcast. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you guys maybe learned something, had a laugh with me. That's what I'm trying to do. Just relax. I was getting a little too involved with the conspiracy theories in the aspect of, like, picking sides. You never want to pick sides. There's only one side, and it's fucking the Keeping It Real side, baby. Smash that like button, subscribe, comment, check out my website. Stay tuned. Merchandise is coming. Before the end of April, merchandise is coming, and today is Easter, and Jesus has resurrected. I wish I had the Jesus outfit. But it is a white boy summer, and you already know what's going on. We are taking over. We're going to Miami. And we're taking over. We're going to do a podcast in Miami. Stay tuned. That would actually be lit. I don't know how we can do a full podcast in Miami. Maybe just, like, straight walking the streets, just, like, mad different clips. I might do something like that. So stay tuned. But I will be traveling the whole entire country of America, United States, baby. Maybe go to Canada. I got my passport, dog. You feel me? I ain't getting that vaccine, though. I'm not getting that vaccine. So I appreciate what you're putting out in the universe, people. but I'm not getting that vaccine because I'm too smart for that. Stay tuned, stay woke. Keeping it real. Follow us on everything. Link in the descriptions. Just check the descriptions. You already know. Subscribe, follow, like, buy some merchandise when it comes. Deuces, everybody. Deuces.